Hi everyone, welcome to class today. Thank you for joining me. Our practice today is going to be a chakra balancing practice that is on the gentle side. I haven't filmed a gentle one in a while, so I thought I'd do a gentle practice today. So what is a chakra and why do we need to balance our chakras? So in the yoga tradition, they talk about the chakras as being energy centers along the length of our spine, beginning with the base of the spine, the tailbone, perineum area, all the way up to the crown of the head and beyond. Physically, they're associated with our different organ systems of the body and bundles of nerves, so nerve plexus at each of these 7 chakras, so 7 major chakras that we will be addressing today. And in these different areas of the body, there can be imbalances. So those imbalances can be deficiencies or excess. So for example, the second chakra is associated with the area below our navel, but above the pelvic floor. So basically this area of our hips and our reproductive organs, our sacrum, our lower back. So if we're very deficient here, this relates to the water element of the body. We might feel very stiff. We might feel kind of creatively stifled, or our creative juices are a bit dried up. So we might feel like more stagnant in that area of the body. If the area is very excessive, then we have the opposite condition. So we can be very watery, and that's associated with our emotions. We might be engulfed in our emotions. We might be overwhelmed in our emotions. So I'll talk about these different deficiencies and excesses as we go into these different areas of the body with the intention of trying to balance these energies out. Chakra can also be blocked, so meaning there's like no energy flow in that area of the body. So maybe we're feeling really tight in our chest and we're not getting a good energy flow into the area of our heart space. We might feel tight and restricted in an area of the body. We might have like a headache here in the Ajna chakra. So we'll go through the whole body and talk a little bit about these chakras and what the association is with our yoga practice. So we're going to be coming onto our backs. We're going to need a block. We're going to begin in supported bridge. You might also want to have a blanket for your head for certain postures, or we're going to be sitting for a little bit. So whatever you need to be comfortable in a seated posture, you could have that as well. I would have a set of blocks. We'll do a couple lunges, so you might want to have something under your hands. So a set of blocks and a blanket would be probably pretty much all that you need for this practice. And we're going to end with a nice guided meditation as well. Okay, so let's come into that supported bridge first. So we're going to need that one block. I'm going to come onto our backs first. So make your way down, and then you'll lift your hips up and slide the block under the sacrum. So the sacrum is the bone at the base of the spine. We don't want it on the fleshy parts, we want it on the bony parts. And then we'll just come to settle into that block for a few moments. So let the sacrum get heavy into the block. And we're going to start with some breath work here and activating the root chakra by working with our Mula Bandha. So Mula Bandha is the root lock. So we'll be working with the energy of the pelvic floor. So from here, you're going to start to focus simply on your breathing. Letting the belly relax, letting the pelvic floor relax. Feeling your feet on the ground, feeling your shoulders on the ground. So root chakra, Muladhara, is associated with the earth, so the element of earth, and it relates to our sense of stability. So how stable are we in our bodies, in our minds, and in our lives? Can relate to our relationship with money as well, because that is something that can help us feel stable if we're financially stable. So particularly in the times that we're all going through right now, we might feel a little bit ungrounded. We might feel a little bit like our world is not so stable. Things are a bit unpredictable. So by working with the root chakra, we can help balance out some of those ways that we feel unstable in our bodies and in our lives. So Mula Bandha is a lifting of the pelvic floor, front, center, and back, and drawing in and up. So I'd like you to imagine taking an inhale, and as you exhale, starting to lift your pelvic floor muscles, the back, the middle, and the front, and draw in and up as if you could draw that energy right up towards your navel center. And then as you inhale, let all of that effort relax and breathe in. So relaxing belly and pelvic floor. And then exhale, draw up again. And then we're going to do that a few more times. So on your own, just go ahead and continue. Inhale, relax. Exhale, lift pelvic floor and low belly. Draw that energy up towards your navel. So symbolically, the chakra systems also relate to the 5 natural elements that we talk about in yoga and Ayurveda. So of course, the first of those is the earth element, the second is water, and the third is fire. We'll talk about the rest later. Right now, we're primarily concerned with these first 3. So imagining here that we're building a fire. So when we build a fire, we need that earth, nice solid earth underneath the fire. And then we have this flame. So imagine as you're breathing here, inhale, relax. Exhale, lift Mula Bandha. And imagine a flame drawing up towards your navel center and even towards your heart. And then inhale and relax. And try that a few more times with that visual of drawing the fire up. So this is in a way, a sense of purifying the lower chakras. We can get kind of bogged down here in the lower body chakras. So imagine that this flame could help purify, stoke our inner fire. 2 more cycles of this breath. Inhale, relax pelvic floor. Exhale, lift and draw that imaginary flame upward. 1 more time. Good, and then go ahead and release. Let those shoulder blades tuck in a little bit and bring your knees in towards your chest. So I'm going to stay up on the block. If you wish, you could always come off of it. And I'm going to inhale, let the knees move away from me, any amount. And as I exhale, I'm going to squeeze those knees back in toward the chest. And just try that a few more times. Inhale, knees away. Exhale, squeeze in. 1 more time. Inhale, knees away. Exhale, knees in, squeeze. All right, go ahead and release your feet down. We're going to lift the hips and slide that block out of the way. We'll use that again later. And then we're going to bring the feet together and let the knees drop open into a bound ankle shape. If you wish, you could tuck your blocks underneath your knees here if there's any discomfort in the inner thighs or in your knees or in your lower back. So now we're getting a little bit more into the hip area. This is second chakra, Svadhisthana. And again, as I mentioned in the intro talk, this relates to the water element in our bodies. So breathe here in the space below your navel and above the pelvic floor. So see if you can draw that breath into the low belly. And more times. We're also getting the hips in an open position, which can help if we have kind of a stagnant energy in this area of the body. So we want our water element to be balanced, so we won't be overwhelmed by our emotions, but we also don't want to be completely disconnected from them. We don't want to have them shut off. So having a healthy relationship with our emotional life as well as our creative life, right? So this is an area that we create from. Our creative juices we talk about. They can be dried up, they can be non-existent even. So we feel like we can't find a way to be creative. And on the other side of that, there's compulsive creativity, where we're constantly creating in a way of like distracting ourselves from our lives. So a healthy relationship with our creativity and our emotions. All right, go ahead now and draw those knees up, placing your feet flat. Take your right leg and straighten that leg out and bring the left knee into your chest. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, draw that knee a little closer and draw your navel in toward your spine, lifting even into your pelvic floor. And then do that again. Inhale that knee away a little bit. Exhale, pull in, draw the low belly in, draw the pelvic floor in. One more time, inhale. Exhale, pull in. Now we're going to take this into a twist. Hold on to that knee with your right hand, left arm out to a T, and draw that leg across into a twist. Here's where you might want support. You could put a block or bolster under this leg if you wish, or just leave it be. And then try to even out into your shoulders so that they feel more level with the ground. And then we'll breathe here. So a twist activates a little bit into the area of the navel center. So this would be our third chakra. Color is yellow. The Sanskrit name is Manipura. And it relates to our inner fire. So we were drawing that flame up toward the navel center. Our inner fire helps us digest and process not only foods that we eat, but also our experiences in life. And when we're excessive in this area, we have too much fire. We're a little bit explosive. We could be angry, frustrated, maybe even a little controlling. We want to exert our willpower on others. If we're deficient, we're the opposite. So if we lack our inner fire, we can't digest things, we can't process, and we can get overwhelmed by our life experiences. And we let others control us, let others walk all over us because we don't have that fire to have the confidence to stand up for ourselves. So by working on twists, we're helping to activate this area of the body. So breathe deeply into your navel center. Let's try the other side. Take an inhale. Exhale back to center. Bring that knee into your chest once again. So we're going to take an inhale here. As you exhale, first we're going to lift up head, chest, shoulders, elbows wide. Pull your navel toward your spine. And we'll do a little bit of core activation. You might float that other leg up if you feel like that's okay on your body. Maybe even reach those arms forward. Inhale. Exhale, lift a little higher. Draw in through that navel center. And hold. One more breath. Remember, you can always keep that leg down. And then release. Good, and then feel that effort let go in the area of the belly. So doing core work can help us feel stronger, more powerful, more in control of our own destiny. These are all aspects of our third chakra. All right, let's release that leg down. How about a full body stretch here?
We open up this whole area of the body, and then exhale, let's bring the other knee into the chest, right knee in. So we'll start by doing those knee pulls. Inhale, exhale, squeeze in, navel toward your spine. And again, inhale, knee away. Exhale, pull in, navel back, squeeze the pelvic floor. One more time, inhale. Exhale, pull in. Good, and now we're going to take that right arm out to a T. Inhale, exhale, guide that knee over into the twist. And remember, you can support, if you wish, a bolster or block underneath that leg, a pillow. I like to kind of scoot toward that left hip a little bit, and then even the shoulder blades out. Your gaze could be neutral, or you could look in the opposite direction, over the opposite shoulder. And then breathing here into this area of the rib cage, the navel center, the solar plexus, home of our inner fire. The chakras have colors too that are associated depending on which tradition you're looking at, but I'm going to go with the kind of more modern interpretation, which follows the spectrum. So our first chakra, the root is red, very earthy color. And then our second chakra is orange. It's kind of a creative, fun color. And then the fire is, of course, yellow. So our inner fire, imagining that color yellow here in the solar plexus. All right, take an inhale, exhale back to the center, and hug that knee back into your chest. We're going to take an inhale, and as you exhale, lift your head, chest, shoulders, elbows come to the side. Pull the navel down toward the spine. You can stay right here or float the left leg up a few inches. You can stay here or lift a little higher, pulling the navel down and maybe reaching your arms forward. Now if this is too strenuous, you can always put your head back down or put your leg back down. So modify if you need to. One more breath, lift a little higher, squeeze in, and then release. And we'll let that upper body come down, pull that knee in one more time, and then both knees into the chest. Hands on top of your kneecaps. Inhale the knees away. Exhale, squeeze in, navel to spine, pull into the low belly, and repeat. Inhale, knees away. Exhale, pull in. One more time, it's very cleansing for these lower chakras. Pull in, squeeze. And then knees apart, hold your ankles into that bound angle shape. So back into second chakra, the hips. And just give a little rock side to side across your sacrum. So the sacrum is an area that attaches, so it's in the back of our pelvis. And there's all kinds of connections around there, muscles and ligaments and things holding it in place. And if we're not fluid in our bodies, that can start to stiffen up, and then our walk gets a little bit shuffly. We don't feel fluid in our movements. We feel stiff in our lower backs. So you really want to keep fluidity in the area of our pelvis and our sacrum. Okay, come to stillness. Have a breath here. And then draw the knees in. We're going to come up to a seated posture. So go ahead and roll to one side. Use your hands, and we'll come to sit up. So take your time, and then grab whatever you might need to sit comfortably. So we're going to do a whole sequence here, seated, going through each of our chakras. Okay, so first chakra again is our root, our base. It can also relate to our roots as far as our families go. So what is our ancestry, and what has that kind of passed down to us? What has carried through in our lives? And that can affect how stable we feel. What is our root system like in our families?
So activating that by drawing the sit bones apart so we really feel grounded through our base. And we're going to do first chakra exercise here. So as we inhale, we're going to lift our knees up and reach our arms up. That's the inhale. Exhale, hands to the shoulders, knees drop. But we're going to do it a little faster to get this energy moving. Here we go. Inhale, exhale. Remember, knees come up, arms come up. Keep going. Now a strong breath in and out through your nose if you can. Now between each exercise, we're just going to take a moment to settle and ground. So close your eyes and see if you can just feel that energy starting to move in your body. So waking up that root chakra. And as you breathe here for a few breaths, you're going to think to yourself the word Lam, Lam, Lam. So each of the chakras has a seed sound that is associated with it. And so we can think this mantra in our minds, first of all, to help break up our stagnant energy in our minds, those thoughts that keep coming in, but also to associate with that area of the body. So a couple more breath cycles in your mind, Lam. All right, so now the second chakra, again, relates to our fluidity, creativity, and the water element. So we're going to do a seated cat-cow here to activate second chakra. So we're going to tip the sit bones back, almost like rounding into our spine. And then we're going to pull forward on our sit bones, shoulders back, chest forward. Okay, this is the exhale, coming back. This is the inhale, coming forward. Now that you've got it, we're going to go faster. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Rocking on the pelvis, getting that creative juices flowing in here, the fluidity in our spines that reverberates all the way up. When we rock through the pelvis, it helps propel our cerebral spinal fluid from our sacrum to our cranium. So do that a few more rounds. One more. And back to neutral and pause. Hands on your legs, maybe close your eyes. And the seed sound here is VAM, V-A-M, VAM. In your mind, repeating the word VAM as you hold this posture. Starting to feel energy move up the body. Okay, so now we're at chakra 3, which is, again, our solar plexus, color yellow, related to fire element. We're going to do torso circles to activate this chakra. So we're going to move the torso around. So we're activating here from the rib cage. So I'm not moving my whole body like this. I'm isolating into moving my rib cage around. We're going to go a few more rounds in this direction and then we'll switch. So see if you can feel the activation of the muscles around the area of the solar plexus, the middle back, the belly, the navel center. And now reverse, go the other direction. And trying to really feel this churning of the abdomen. Waking up the inner fire, which gives us confidence, willpower, inner strength, the ability to process life's experiences and not get bogged down by them. And when we can process life experiences, we have a residue. And that residue, if we've done it right, is wisdom. Rather than kind of being stuck in a negative thought or rumination about the past or thinking about it over and over, we process it, we let it go, and we take from it what we can. Come back to center now. Let the hands rest, close your eyes. Chakra 3, the sound is Ram, R-A-M, Ram, and the color is yellow. So seeing perhaps nice yellow glowing ball of energy here in the area of the solar plexus. A couple more breaths. Now we haven't talked about the upper chakras yet. We're now at the 4th chakra, which is the heart space. Anahata, which means unstruck. And that relates to that this being the pure aspect of the self, sometimes said to be where the higher self resides, the soul, the Shen, here in our heart. Relates to our ability to give and receive love, affection, but also our breath, our inhales and our exhales, a flow of prana here in the heart space. Compassion for ourselves and others. We're going to put our hands here up onto the shoulders, and we're going to turn into a twist. Inhale, exhale. And now feeling that energy up a little higher now into the shoulder blades, into the heart space. So we're inhaling one way, exhaling the other. We're going to repeat a few more, and then we'll do it on the other side. You can go slowly as you need to not get dizzy here. I'm kicking it up a little bit, going a little faster. Slowly come to a stop, but you don't have to go as fast as I'm going. If you tend to get vertigo, you want to go super slow. Okay, we're going to repeat again in a moment, this time inhaling to left, exhaling to right. Have another breath here. So seed sound here is hum. Oh, I'm sorry. Seed sound is yam. Y-A-M, yam. So let's do it again, and then we'll pause a little bit longer. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then pick it up to your capacity here. Keep the elbows lifted to about shoulder height. Don't let them droop down. You can go as slow as you need to, or if you want to really move that energy, and it's okay, go a little faster. And slowly come back to stop. Release your hands, close your eyes. Breathing here, yam, Y-A-M. A lot of blockages associated with the heart. We can have a shut down heart, closed off to the world, build up walls around our heart. So that might be blockages. If we are deficient, we might not be able to express love and compassion. If we're excess, we might be overly giving, right? We might not be able to set boundaries for ourselves, and we might be very codependent on other people to make us feel good about ourselves. So we gotta have that healthy balance of giving and receiving. One more breath here. Now we're going to go to the 5th chakra, which is our throat center. So 5th chakra can be blocked if we're not expressing. So there's an energy that's up and out, right? So we need to say something. We've got to be able to say it. If we're constantly stifling our voice, this can create a blockage. So if we're not able to express freely, maybe if we have a situation where speaking our minds makes us afraid, that can create blockage here. Thyroid problems associated with our throat chakra as well. So this is about expressing ourselves in a healthy way. If we're deficient, we might not be able to express. We might be very quiet, soft voice, very timid. If we're excessive in this area, so maybe people who have some of these excessive or deficiencies, they're always, it's like, what we call the diarrhea of the mouth, right? They're just going, talking, they never stop. And you feel like you can't get a word in edgewise, right? Or they're asserting their opinions on us. So we have to have a healthy balance in our expression, right? We don't want to be so timid that we never speak up, but we also don't want to be constantly controlling the conversation. It has to be a give and take. So here's the exercise for the throat chakra, Vishuddha, which means purification. Interlace your hands right underneath your chin, and we're going to inhale, lift the chin up, and then exhale, drop down with the elbows. Inhale up, open the throat, exhale down. One more. And then release. Close your eyes, have a few breaths with your awareness at the throat chakra. Color is sky blue for this one. And the seed sound is hum. Hum, H-A-M, hum. Some people say hum, so whatever your preference is there. Couple breaths. We're going to move, so you can keep breathing, keep focusing. We're going to move to chakra 6, so I'll just talk about that as you stay here and breathe. So chakra 6 is our brow center, the Ajna chakra. So here the color is more of an indigo blue, so darker blue. Here's sky blue, here's darker blue, like the night sky. And it relates to our inner vision. So it's right between the brow center. It can relate to our intuition. What is our inner knowing? Our imagination, our ability to visualize what we want to have manifest in our lives. It also relates to things like hallucinations and nightmares. So if we have too much energy here in this chakra, we might not be grounded in reality. We could also be very anxious. Our mind is always going, always active. We can't settle it down. Maybe we need to focus more on our root chakra because energy is up here too much. If we're deficient here, we might be really out of touch with our own inner knowing, our own intuition, and we might not be able to tap into that sense of imagination. So we might be very literal, very black and white in our thinking. So it can be helpful to open this area up. All right, so this one, we're going to have the hands in front of the brow center. Touch your thumbs right there to the brow center and close your eyes. Now as you inhale, it's like opening the curtains. Open your hands as you open your eyes, take in the light, and then exhale, bring your hands back in front of that brow center, close your eyes. So this center also relates to light. The pineal gland, letting in light, our production of melatonin. Let's repeat. Inhale, open up. Exhale, coming in. And again, inhale, open up. Exhale, draw in and close your eyes. Inhale, the eyes open. We take in the sights and the light. Exhale, back in. One more time. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it in. And then release. Palms down. Close your eyes for a few breaths. And this one, chakra 6, is Om, the sound of Om. The sound that has said to create the universe. universal sound of Om, which relates to our waking state, our dream state, our deep meditative state. So these different states of consciousness related to these upper chakras and the sound of Om. Okay, one more to go. So now we're at chakra 7. So chakra 7 is crown of the head. Color is violet. Also associated with a golden 1,000-petaled lotus blooming at the crown of the head, which relates to the blooming of our consciousness, or opening up of our minds. So when this chakra is very blocked, we're not seeing the bigger picture. We're very limited in our viewpoint. We're not seeing how things are connected. This is also relating to our connection to spirit and the divine. So our connection to the universe. So whatever that spirituality is for you, this chakra can be related to that. So we're gonna do another exercise, finishing up this sequence. So hands in front of your heart, and as you inhale, we're gonna lift and open up toward the sky. Look up, open wide as if you're gonna receive the universe, and then exhale back to the heart. And then we'll repeat that with the breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, open to receive, exhale, and again. Two more. All right, bring those hands back and rest them down. Close your eyes, visualizing maybe that color purple. Again, the sound is Om. Imagining crown of the head opening like that golden 1,000-petaled lotus. And this is the Sahasrara chakra, crown of the head. We're going to move now into a little bit more active practice for a little bit of time, and we'll continue working on these chakras. So as you're ready, we're going to come up and we're going to come into a tabletop pose, all fours. Perhaps you want a blanket under your knees to protect. So here, feel the ground beneath you. So that's root chakra. We even have chakras in the palms, so really feel the ground beneath your hands and your feet and your knees. Connect to that earth element. And then we're going to circle into the hips, second chakra, creating fluidity in the area of the pelvis. And we can even, examine our own comfort level with things. So if this movement feels like, whoa, this is like weird. So sometimes we feel like a movement is just really strange. So we might have a blockage here. We might be out of touch with the fluidity of our body. Go the other way. And that's the protective mode, right? If we're not fluid, we're stiff. And stiffness in the body is a protective measure. So when our tissues tighten up, it's out of fear or threat or protection, right? So being fluid, we need to be trusting. So first and second chakras can relate a lot to trusting life and going with the flow of life. All right, coming back now. Take an inhale, exhale, side bend over to the right and give a good squeeze to that side waist. Third chakra, inhale, center. Exhale, squeeze to the other side. And now repeat, inhale, center. Exhale, squeeze. Third chakra relates to our continuous applied effort to our practice, our tapas it's called. So we need to show up on a regular basis, do our work, do the practice so that we can create change and transformation in our lives. So fire gives us the power to change a bad habit, to leave a negative situation in our lives. So we need that fire in order to stand up for ourselves. Good. Coming back to center now. Take your knees apart and we'll come back to a brief child's pose, feeling that ground beneath you again. And send the breath into your lower back here, into the area of adrenals and kidneys. Sometimes if we've got too much fire, we can burn out. We get burned out adrenals. So nourish your adrenals with your breath here for a few moments. Burnout associated with excessive third chakra. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then we'll inhale through a tabletop when you're ready. We're going to come up to stand. So you might lift your hips coming through a dog and then walk your hands back to your feet. Remove your blanket. Hands to hips. Push your heels into the floor and carefully coming up to stand. All right. So we're going to do a first chakra exercise here. So I'm going to have you stand with your feet about a generous hips distance and then go pigeon toe. So pigeon toe, we take the toes in and the heels out. And we're going to have the hands on the hips and bend your knees. And this is helping to activate the first chakra as we push down into the feet. We're going to feel the power in the legs. So legs also relating to root chakra. And we're going to slowly start to straighten and bend the legs, but not all the way straight. So never lock out the knees. That's going to stop that flow of energy. And I want you to push down and pull apart with your feet as if you're trying to tear your mat in two. So this really activates our legs, and you might start to feel a shaking going on. And in fact, that's actually a good thing here. Go even slower now. Push down and apart with your feet and slowly straighten your legs until they're almost straight, and then repeat. And that pulling action is going on the whole time. So the legs should be getting a little fatigued, maybe a little trembling, and that's a good thing here. So relating to our nervous systems as well, when our root chakra is imbalanced, we might have more anxiety, more nervous conditions, insomnia, fried nerves, because we don't have that ground, the stability, the safety that we need to deeply relax. All right, slowly coming up now, and step those feet back into about hips distance. And just give a little shake, a little bounce to those legs. All right, take them apart again and just do a little swing, a little fluidity after that stability of the earth. Loosen up the hips again. And then let's try tree pose. Tree pose works with a lot of the chakras. Pretty much everything is involved here. So you're going to stand and build the pose from the ground up. Standing on your right leg, I'll mirror you. Bring your left heel up. So first chakra, rooting down from your tailbone, rooting into your legs, your feet, chakras in our feet as well. We've got a little hip action going on here, stabilizing the pelvis so we're neutral, not tipping forward, back, side to side. Be very level with your pelvis. And I've got a little open hip on this left leg. You might even pick the foot up if you wish, if you're very stable. If you feel enough earth element, enough first chakra stability that you're not too wobbly, go ahead and try. Otherwise, I'm just going to show keeping that foot down because you're going to feel more grounded. A little bit of core here, drawing in and up into the belly, lifting our rib cage, having some tone here. That'll help us stay balanced as well. We want to draw all these lines of energy in toward our navel. Heart center stays lifted and open, right? If we collapse our shoulders, we're not going to be able to balance. So the heart stays lifted and open. And you might even put your hands here at your heart. And as you press your palms, you'll feel a more opening in the heart chakra. Chin is level with the floor, nice openness in our throat chakra. A steady drishti gaze is going to help balance. A little bit of third eye chakra. And then the crown of the head extending upward as if an invisible thread were lifting us higher. Relax your face. Continuing to breathe, we're going to open the fingers up into a lotus mudra. So the thumb and the pinkies are touching. The 3 middle fingers are spreading apart. So here's our golden 1,000-petaled lotus. If we're steady, we might start to reach it up over our heads as if to elevate our own consciousness. Root into the feet, into the legs, reach, reach, reach to the arms. And if you are steady, you might try to look up toward the sky, which gives us a little bit more of that air and space elements which are associated with our upper chakras. And slowly bring that mudra back down, and we'll close it up and release the pose. Stand in your mountain pose. Feel the stability of both feet on the ground. Okay. Let's try the other side now. Standing on the left leg, bring your right heel up. Remember, you can always progress if you wish to a more challenging version, bringing that foot up. But building from the ground up, root down, establish root chakra from the pelvic floor downward, tailbone downward. Maybe even a little lift of the pelvic floor to create some stability here. Firming up our hips, firming up the belly, lifting the heart, open into the shoulders. Lifting through the crown of the head and finding that steady gazing point. Soften your face and feel spacious and open in your brow center. And if you want to try the lotus mudra, open the fingers. You can always stay right here at your heart. Or those of you who feel steady could try lifting that lotus bloom up. Engage through the legs and then lift the rib cage, reach to the arms. Maybe the gaze could come up. Now that's a little advanced, so only if you feel really steady. And then slowly lower and draw the fingers back together and release. Arms down, wiggle it out a little bit. Let's do our little arm swings again. Because sometimes when we stand in that balance, we're creating so much rigidity to help hold the pose that we start to get stiff. So let's release it again. Let the tissues release. Find that fluidity of the water element, second chakra. Okay, so I'm going to come to face sideways. If you're standing on your mat, you can stay where you are. And let's make sure we have some blocks at the top of the mat, because we're going to do some lunges. So that gets a bit into second chakra, so stretching out into the hips. We're going to add a twist, which is going to get into third chakra. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward, hands to your blocks. Inhale, lift your chest. And as you exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Now here we want to make some adjustments. We want to make sure that our foot is under the knee, so ankle under the knee. Make sure that our feet are slightly separated, so they're not on one straight line. So you want to be stable here. And then the blocks are lined up under your shoulders. You can stay here or drop your knee. If you feel like you're a little unstable, you can drop your knee. That's going to give you more root chakra, more groundedness. If you're okay, keep that knee up, reach your chest forward, and draw your hips in towards center. Breathing here, creating pelvic stability by drawing in. And then we're going to take that twist that I mentioned. So first, you're going to transition your right hand onto your thigh. Inhale, reach your chest forward. And as you exhale, push down into that thigh, turn your chest toward the right. Now right away, I'm feeling a little activation of my muscles that help me turn into the twist. A little bit of the oblique muscles. If I'm stable here, I could take this arm and reach it straight up, opening into the heart chakra space as well. Breathing here, inhale, and as you exhale, squeeze into your waist muscles and turn your rib cage a little bit more, activating that fire element in third chakra. Breathing. As you exhale, find that squeeze and turn. One more breath, maybe getting a little warm as you do this. And then release. We're back in our lunge. We're looking forward and we're going to take a big step forward or several steps forward to come back to the top of the mat. And then a little bend in your knees. Inhale, stand all the way up, reach your arms up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Let's try the other side. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold forward, hands to blocks. Step your right foot back. Blocks in line with your front toe tips. Chest forward. Hug those hips in. And then when you're ready, hand onto your thigh. Inhale, lengthen first, then push into that thigh, twist. You can stay here or take that arm and reach it up. Open the heart space. And then inhale, exhale, squeeze the waist muscles, the navel, and turn from your rib cage. Open up. One more. And then release. Bring that hand down. Step forward. This time a little bend in your knees. Fold forward. And then inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And let's move on. We're going to work on heart chakra next. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Set your blocks to the side. Step back to a down dog. And then we're going to bring the knees down to the floor. So we're going to work on a camel pose. So you might want to have that blanket again under your knees. If you have a bolster at home, you could use a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can use blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can just use your hands. So I'll show you some options. So it's an opening of our heart space in our camel pose. Couple things here. We want to think about moving our upper spine into our body. So we're lifting the heart by the back muscles, lifting in and up. Okay. So what I don't want to do here is kind of let my hips pop forward. It's going to go really into my lower back. So I'm going to keep some of my first chakra rooting down. Second chakra drawing in, and third chakra drawing into the belly. So a little bit of containment here.
And then let's start nice and easy by just clasping the hands behind our back and drawing the shoulder heads back, opening the chest. And then really breathe into your heart space. This could be stage 1. You could always stay here. We're already getting a nice opening of the heart chakra. If you wish to proceed, keeping your hips from popping forward, start to lift and open your chest. Pull the palms apart without letting go to feel that expansion across the collarbones. And I don't want you to drop your head, but you could extend it backwards. So don't drop it. We don't want to cut off the flow of energy in the back of the neck. Good. Slowly release, coming up. Have a breath. Those of you who maybe you could sit on your heels for a moment or even a child's pose for a moment. We're going to repeat, and this time maybe bring the hands to the blocks. If you have a bolster, you can put it on the back of your shins and put your hands on the bolster. You can also, if you don't have blocks or you don't have a bolster, you could have your hands on your low back and just do it this way, okay? So I'm going to show with the blocks. Turn your palms open to open that heart space up. Lift into your chest. Inhale, lift the chest even more. Bring the shoulder blades into your back. And remember, you can always stay here or clasp your hands. Those of you who want to, bring your hands to those blocks. And try to get them close in towards your feet. And then you can push into the blocks to lift your chest. Pull the collarbones wide. And try not to drop your head, but you could take your gaze up toward the ceiling. Big stretch in the front of the body. And then chin toward chest. Slowly start to come up. And then sit back onto your heels. Take a moment. Now we're going to do one more round. So this is a gentle practice. I'm going to suggest sticking with blocks, bolster, or hands. If those of you who have a little bit more experienced practice, you could always put hands on the heels, going deeper into the pose. I'm not going to show that today, but if you have that in your practice and you want to go there today, feel free. Otherwise, this time I'll show the bolster option. Remember, you can always stick with any of the above. So I'm going to put the bolster on the backs of my shins. You could use a couple of sofa cushions. I'm going to tuck the toes because that lifts that bolster up even higher. I have short arms, so it helps me be able to press down to lift up. Starting here by turning the palms open, opening the collarbones, feel the shoulder blades pull towards each other, and then hands onto the bolster, push down, and lift the chest up, up, up. Take the head back without dropping it. So there's a difference between keeping my forehead lifting toward the ceiling and dropping back and kinking my neck. Pull the shoulder blades apart. Pull the front of the shoulders apart. The backs of the shoulder blades squeeze in, lifting the chest up, up, up. Like there's a string on your heart. You want to float it toward the sky. One more breath. And then chin towards your chest. And slowly come on. Alright, so get rid of those props for now. And you might want a brief child's pose after that. So maybe like a neutral position first, lengthening your spine. And then a nice forward fold. Let's put a block underneath our forehead. So now we get a little bit of activation of brow center, Ajna chakra. Roll your head side to side and just massage it out. We're getting into the upper chakras now. We just did our heart. And the heart
is considered the gateway from our lower chakras, first, second, third, to our upper chakras. So here's fourth, and then we have 5, 6, 7. So it's that middle point. It's our gateway between the matter, which is the earth, it's our bodies, it's solidity, and spirit, which is more subtle and ethereal. So the heart is that bridge. We're going to move now to the throat chakra. So come to sit for a moment. And you can sit up on your folded blanket if you wish. We're going to take the right hand, tuck it behind your back, sitting up tall. Take your left hand across and hold onto that shoulder, even pull it forward a little bit. And then we're going to drop the head over to the left, opening up into the area of the neck. So throat chakra is another gateway between our heart and our heads. Oftentimes we can get a traffic jam there too, because sometimes what the heart wants and what the head wants are two different things. So sometimes fear gets in the way. The head, the mind has all the reasons why we shouldn't do something, and the heart just doesn't want to let it go because it knows, the heart knows what is right for us. And that traffic jam can cause tension and blockage in our throat. Maybe move your head slightly back and see what changes. And maybe even slightly forward. And then slowly release. Come back up and just kind of move your head around a little bit. Sometimes things get a little stiff. And then let's try the other side. Left arm behind your back. Hold your shoulder, pull that shoulder forward, and drop your head. Breathing here. And then we'll drop the head slightly forward. Take the head slightly back. And bring the head back towards center, release. Come back up and just move it around a little bit. Sitting up tall, close your eyes, bring your fingers to meet in the center of your brow. These are called third eye pulls. Pull your fingers apart as if you were trying to open the flesh on the forehead up, opening into the energy of the Ajna chakra. This could be really good if we feel like we have a blockage here or a headache. Pull from the center of the brow all the way to the temple and the hairline. Gentle pressure on the forehead. Imagine you're sweeping off any blockages here. Now we're going to do the same on the crown. So crown pull, fingers together in the top of your head. Pull as if you're trying to open that crown chakra. You can even press down and pull, press down and pull. So we're releasing trapped energy in the skull, opening to something beyond ourselves, something bigger than ourselves, our connection to all of humanity, the planet, the universe, the divine of our choosing. And then slowly release. Close your eyes and just imagine that opening, that 1,000-petal lotus, crown of the head. All right, we're gonna come down and do one more exercise, and then we'll have our Shavasana with a guided chakra meditation. So coming off of any props, we're gonna do fish pose, which really opens up into these top 3 chakras. So I'm gonna start with my feet flat, and I'm gonna tuck my hands under my bottom. My palms are face down. And then I'm gonna try and walk my elbows in. And then from here, press down into your forearms and lift your chest up. So this is heart chakra too. Now, if your neck is okay, you're gonna press in your arms so much your head can lift and lightly place your head down. Now I'm gonna give an alternate for those of you who can't do the neck stuff here. So those of you who can even straighten the legs. And we're opening the throat, closing the eyes, looking at the third eye, and a little bit of stimulation into our crown. Some of you are gonna stay there for a few breaths. Now those of you who feel like, I don't like that neck stuff, you're gonna do a supported fish. So one block under your shoulder blades, one block under your head. They can be on any level. So let me go low level. This block is flat under my shoulder blades. This block is on second level under my head. Okay, so it's gonna give a similar energetic effect. Heart is lifted, and then the head here is supported. Now if we want to go further, we could lower this block and bring this one up second level. So then it's more like a fish. But for some of us, that dropping of the head back doesn't feel so good. Okay, so I'm giving you options. I want you to stick with what feels best in your body. So if flat here is best, second level here is best, just go for that. Those of you in regular fish, come out when you're ready. I've been talking for a bit. So come out flat on your back when you're ready. Those of you who have just gotten into it, take a few more moments here in your supported version of fish. So if you're taking supported, stick with that. Those of you who did regular fish, you're gonna come down. I'm gonna give you guys more time if you're in supported. You're gonna come down flat on your back. I'm gonna straighten my mat a bit. And just to release the neck a bit, just turn your head to one side. Press your head gently into the floor. And then back to center. And then over to the other side. Press your head gently into the floor. And back to center. One more time each side. Those of you doing supported won't need to release the neck as much. Although if you feel like you want to, you can when you come down. And make your way back to center. Now if you're still on the props, you could stay there longer if you wish. Pause the video. Otherwise, we're going to get ready to move on. You can slowly press down. Make sure you bend your knees, press down, lift up, take your blocks out, and meet us on your back. Let's take a full body stretch when you get there. And then we'll hug the knees into the chest. Give them a good squeeze. We're going to inhale, exhale, lift head, chest, and shoulders. Make a little ball. And then release. Feet down. Couple windshield wipers to release any residual tension in our hips and our backs. And we're going to come to our Shavasana. So if you have any props that you like to have, you know, maybe a folded blanket from your head or under your knees, you know, get yourself set up because we're going to do a guided meditation that's
Probably going to be about 5-10 minutes. I'm going to come up in a moment. So find your Shavasana. Hands can be at your side or on your body. Close your eyes. And start to settle into the earth, to the ground. So I talk a lot about earth elements, so important to ground ourselves. Staying where you are, I'm coming up so I can guide you through this chakra balancing meditation. The last couple moments, just release, soften, and come to your breath. Take any last minute adjustments that you might need. Just take a couple more moments to breathe into the abdomen. And we're going to be placing hands on particular body parts as we go through this meditation. So first, take a moment and set your own intention for bringing balance and aligning your own chakras. Maybe take a moment to consider all the things you learned about the chakras and your own mind-body complex. Was there an area that you really wish to focus on that you maybe observe that is deficient or excessive or blocked? So we're going to put one hand on the first chakra. So this is, sensitive areas. You might hover your hand above, like the area of the perineum, or you could even put your hands on your legs as they're associated with the first chakra. And then put the other hand on your second chakra, which is below your navel. So one at the root, can hover above or even on your leg. Other hand below your navel in the second chakra, Svadhisthana. So Manipura, first chakra, Svadhisthana, second chakra. Colors are red and orange. Visualizing a ball of red light at the base of your spine and the orange light right below the navel center. Just holding your hands in these positions, you might notice a pulsation of energy, maybe in unison or going back and forth from one to the other. Holding your hands here for about a minute or so. And allow your intention to balance them to do the work. Now, taking your hand that's on the first chakra, so the one that's either above the perineum or on your leg, move it to third chakra. So now on your solar plexus, above your navel but below your chest. So now we've got second chakra still with the orange, third chakra with the yellow, the fire element. Manipura. Breathing here, visualizing that bright yellow sun, ball of light in the area of the third chakra. Take the hand that's on second chakra and move it up to your heart. So now we've got third chakra, fourth chakra. Fourth chakra is green. So imagining a green ball of light in the heart space. Softening any blockages, balancing any
excessive or deficient energy here, the anahata, the unstruck, purest place of the self. Take the hand that's on the solar plexus up to your throat center. You can put it on the back of your throat. That feels more comfortable for you, or on the front of your throat. It's not using any force, very gentle. And breathing here, I'm going to put it on the back so it's easier for me to talk. 4th and 5th chakras. Vishuddha, throat chakra, color sky blue. Visualizing sky blue at your throat. Imagining any blockages clearing so you are free to express. Holding it here for another moment. Taking the hand that's on your heart and put it on your forehead. Brow center. Calming any excess energy here, soothing any tension in the head, calming any anxiety, creating a sense of balance and ease, and openness. Taking the hand that's on the throat and bringing it to the crown of the head. Balancing the energies of the 6th and 7th chakras. So 6th, color indigo, and the 7th, Sahasrara, color purple. This is a very soothing position to have hands on the head, really calming that excess air, space, light, all these subtle elements. If we're not grounded, we have challenges with these chakras. But when we're grounded, we can use these upper chakras to connect to our imagination, our creative minds, our visualization, our spirituality. And now let both hands come down at your side. Take a few more moments. Just enjoy this feeling of balance in your body. Imagine that each chakra has just the right amount of energy. Neither deficient, nor excess, nor blocked. Open, bright colors, spinning, shining. In alignment with your true nature. In alignment with your path in life, your purpose. In alignment with the greater good of all. In alignment with your own divine purpose and connection. So taking your time now, we need to come out, so come back to your body, the physicality. Feel yourself here in this present moment before deepening your breath, moving a bit into fingers and toes. As you're ready, you might take bigger movements, stretching it out, hugging your knees. onto your right side when you're ready. Having a brief pause there. And then carefully, slowly returning to a seated posture. I'm going to bring hands together in front of your heart as you're ready. Orienting your awareness to the midline of your body, along the spine, along the chakra system. And we'll open once again into that lotus mudra, that golden 1,000-petaled mudra, and then we'll lift it up over the crown of the head. Some say our chakras are above us and below us by several feet as well. So reach up, as if we're expanding our aura, our presence, and then lift the gaze up toward that lotus. Reach it higher. And then start to bring those hands back together. Draw back down to the Anahata heart chakra. Inhale here, and as you exhale, bow to that divine teacher within. Thank you, everyone. I hope you feel good, chakras all balanced, and have a great day. Until next time, namaste.